Okay. All
Hi
right.
guys, thanks for joining us. We've got Ben on line at the moment, and we've also got James Morris, one of our accounting directors in Brisbane. Thanks for joining us, and thanks so much for taking the time, Ben, to be able to share Now Infinity software with us. This is in preparation for our upcoming Accounting Technology Day. So we are going to record this event, or this Zoom meeting, I should say, and then distribute appropriately to the accounting directors that are unfortunately able to join us at the moment.
Yep.
Over to you, Ben.
Yeah. So, my name is Ben Gill. I'm the sales director and one of the founders of Now Infinity. I'm going to run through the 5 platforms that we've developed to help the accounting profession. Where would you like me to start today? Do you want me to start with corporate compliance or legal documents, the trust register, super complier, or the estate planning? What's the most appealing part for you at the moment?
Ben, from my perspective, probably the corporate register side of things, then moving into the doc side of things.
Sure. Perfect. Hi, James. How are you? I'm pretty sure we've met somewhere before. Your name sounds very familiar.
Yeah, I was just looking at your profile here and I'm sort of thinking the same thing. So I'm not sure when, but...
Yeah, so, yeah, somewhere. Yeah, sure thing. So how many companies do you have, James?
Just in the Queensland offices, we've probably got about 750 to 800.
Okay, great. So PKF Brisbane signed up today. They were up and running today, right? So that was with 2,000 companies. And how this all works with corporate compliance is we pull the data directly from ASIC. I can tell I'm linked with ASIC right now because I've put in my Edge login, and see, it tells me ASIC is stable. Now Infinity is reaching 500,000 companies within 1 year. We look after 90 of the top 100 accounting firms. So the security on this is the most important part. Each team member will have 2-part authentication, and Amazon Web Services Australia is where the data's stored. So I'm trying to answer some questions before they become a question for you as well.
That's right.
So yeah, so you put in each office will have their own ASIC agent number, I'm guessing. Is that right?
Look, at the moment we're operating 3 offices with 3 ASIC numbers. We do have a 4th one, which is going to be a global one. So part of the strategy going forward would be to determine whether we go to 1 or we stay with 3.
Okay, so we can accommodate with sub accounts or put it all under one. We've built a tool called Bundle Agent Appoint. So you can appoint yourself the agent for 2,000 companies in one hit. We've come up with all of these strategies to make it a smooth transition, but all firms, doesn't matter what size, can be up and running within 24 hours. What system do you have at the Queensland office, James?
At 2 of the offices, we just use ASIC Edge and our templates. And at 1 of the offices, we're using a CAS desktop.
Okay, great. So 2 things here. The ASIC, when you put in your ASIC agent number, it only pulls the current data. It won't pull any historical data, right? Because ASIC doesn't hold it. But for the firm that has BGL, we can do a bulk upload of all the historical data into the system. That will be in within 24 hours. Okay, so that's good news. So everything else is customized. And I want to just share with you what we do versus the other providers. The clear difference is, 1, the fees. We're half the fees than any other provider, and we pay for big note in this one. We pay for DocuSign or HelloSign as a part of all of our subscription models. So that's embedded in all your ASIC lodgement documents, which is a huge cost savings for a firm your size. Okay. With the setup process, you can add your cover letters for annual statements.
Right.
And the biggest time savers is because we have text reminders. So it'll text your clients notifying them of debts. See here, I've scheduled mine to be 14, 7, and 3 days. And all of my clients, this is live with ASIC, will get an email and a text reminder. So the text message will come from your business name, right? They can't respond to it, but it will have a B payment so they can pay debts on their phone as well, right? So the big four, there was $155 million in late fees last year. So it's a big goal of ours, and email reminders just don't work anymore, but everyone reads a text. That's included in the package, okay? But it will email or text, so it's up to you which one you will pick. But that's how quickly you can set the corporate compliance up, and it will look like this. As soon as you click under your companies, that's just run a live debt report of all of my companies. Excuse the business name. One of my developers bought it. Now I own it. Yeah, so don't hire Ukrainian developers. Yeah, I know. So, but that's a live debt report. I wish I had one in debt for you because it will come up in red. If it's got credit, it'll come up as green. And then you can put account managers, you can put pins for search functionalities. There's a lot of different custom buttons, but we're not going to go through all of that today, but it will do everything that you need it to do. But when you click under a company, you've got the company, the officers, and the shareholders, and you've got some ASIC lodgement documents down the bottom. Now, under See Full Profile, this has got every single ASIC lodgement document for you. All right, so you can do 484 forms, share changes, change of status, mistakes and corrections, and I'll send you the full list of this after this session today. So you can send that around. But you've got a main view, an officer's view. The big key here is you're really going to like the share register. So this tells me the share breakdown, the share transactions, and the share certificates. And the great thing with the software is you don't need to save any documents anywhere else anymore, because it will automatically save all of your signed documents in the timeline with the date. So you can export that if you lose a client, they want the data, you can export it onto a PDF for them straight away. So just go back to the main view. This is under the company profile. We don't care if you've got APS, mild, or zero, but this is a good question. Which one do you have?
We actually, at the present, we have Sage Handysoft.
Okay, perfect. So that's fine. So
and APS. Sorry.
APS
I just got off the phone with Bongiorno's. They're beta testing it. They're a week in. We just did an integration with APS. So I'll show you this. I'll show you this, for example. You really like this. When you do a 484 form, it doesn't need to pull the data from APS, MIAB, or Xero. We're pulling the data from ASIC. See, it's pulled the company name and the ACN into the document for you. All right. And then you simply put your new address in. If you need to do bulk changes, it will pick up all the companies that they're a director or shareholder for, and they can do it in bulk under one form. That's a huge time saver for your admin team. Right. So this is just.
Is that just, sorry to interrupt, is that just with the ASIC stuff, or does that flow into APS as well?
No, you don't need it's just the ASIC stuff.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll just change the address across. Everything else, our ecosystem holds the data in itself. So when you create a company, you create a trust, you don't need to pull that data because you're entering in that data manually anyway. And you just need our trust register and our legal documents. You can amend at any time, which I'll run through in a second. But see, this is produced in the minutes or resolutions. All right, automatically. I'm picking the director. Right, and we've just created a 484 form. Right, and I've got 3 options now for my client. I can download and print off the document. Right, I can lodge it. I can forward it, the PDF. That will have all your logos on it. Or see, I'm connected with DocuSign, and that will send to the client to sign it via DocuSign or HelloSign. And so I don't have to chase up following up the reminders, I can schedule the reminders at the same time. That's going to save you 40% in admin time. Because right now you're doing a lot of that manually, and chasing up those documents is a manual process. Okay, so as soon as you get the documents back, it will come back into lodgements, right? So this will tell me what documents are out there. It will tell me if it's gone past the lodgement deadline. So when the client signs it, right, I simply click lodge. But this is where APS will be there, and then that will change the address in APS. Okay, pretty simple. Yes. Okay, then annual statements here. Annual statement process. This is your ASIC inbox. Because we've uploaded your annual statement template, this is the whole process of an annual statement. It's ready to go out, right? Now, do you send an invoice out to your clients when you send the annual statement, or do you have your clients on a monthly or annual fee?
We normally send an invoice out with the statement.
Yep, so this is where you can attach your invoice there. Okay, at the same time, and it'll be sent with those documents, and you can send it via email or electronic signing, right? And then I can schedule reminders if I want to. But that's a live annual statement that we just did. Like, that's saving a lot of time automatically just there. All right, the next part here is the notification center will send you a daily report. It will also notify you when you lose a client. It will notify you if a client lodges a form directly with ASIC. Now, this is where we're working with APS to have an integration like XPM. Like, if there's a data integrity issue between Now Infinity and APS, you can add or ignore like we do with XPM. We had this built with XPM within 2 days, 5 years ago. Right, so it's very easy to do. We're just firms have never had an integration really with APS, and now we've got enough firms to push it across. So,
excuse me, Ben. So integration is just with APS and XPM,
and MyOb AE, and GreatSoft. We had the announcement with GreatSoft today.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, so firms your size are looking at GreatSoft. It's probably the best solution for second-tier firms in the market, but that's still very new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right, so, as you know, APS and MyOb, they've just been behind the 8 ball for a couple of years, so they're just catching up now. So even with this technology, we don't care who you're with. This will do everything you need it to do, even if it's not connected to those providers. I'm going to save you 40% in admin time.
Yeah.
Right. So just in here as well, this is bundle edit I was talking about before. This is when you type in your client's last name, it'll pick up all the companies that they're associated with. So Amrita Abbott's an officer and corporate trustee of all of these companies. I can change address for all of those companies in one hit. Right. If you pick up a client that has multiple companies as well, you can do bundle agent appoint. And this is what firms do if they decide to go under one agent number. We'll just put it on a big spreadsheet, and that will lodge a 362 form to appoint you the agent under the one agent number in bulk. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's an easy process if you decide to go down that path. We're moving into more reporting. Because between us, MyOb and BGL, we've all got the same ASIC lodgement documents, but now we're trying to work out, a deadlines calendar. We just created this from a firm. They wanted to know what's coming up in the month, and then another big goal for our firms is to reduce their debts from the year before. So we're building a company's debt report calculator. So this is all created, but we're just getting feedback from our firms like no one's got these things that we've developed. So we're pulling the data from ASIC and the documents. So, we're a feature feedback business. So every webinar that we have, any ideas. Like the trust register last year, firms just were going off Excel spreadsheets. Now that's going to automate it. Now going from the corporate compliance, now just if you could help me out, how many offices are there? For you guys?
And there's 3 in Brisbane, 1 in Sydney, 2 in Melbourne, Altona, and 10, 13 through RJS.
Yeah. So is each firm because we need to work out the numbers. So just give me an example. Like all of BDO, I did a national deal, so they paid $750 a month per firm. Same as RSM, all of RSM nationally, all of Kelly and Partners nationally, all of Deloitte, PKF. They're just on a flat rate. So we don't care how many companies that they have. This is per office. But for the smaller firms, we might have to work out something else. But I'm just trying to work out some fee structures for you. If you just wanted corporate compliance by itself, what I just showed you just then is $8 a company a year. That's just a flat rate. Now the next part I'm going to show you, which includes all 5 platforms. See here, you don't pay for a trust setup. You don't pay for a company setup, a super fund setup, a loan agreement. So who are you going through, James, for your office to set up legal documents?
We use ACIS.
Oh, perfect. Great. They're good friends of ours. So they've got great documents and great service. So I appreciate what those guys do. So this is exactly, how you log into their platform and you're just getting charged per document. Now, the difference of this as well, James, if you want some sample documents so you can compare the documents, I can send it through to you. My email is ben@nowinfinity.com.au if you want some samples. Yep. But look how quickly I can create a trust. This will all be customized to your logo. So this will pull the data into the trust register. So each one of your offices, doesn't matter what state, that will change the legal document at the back end. Right? See here, I'm connected. I can pull data from Xero. I can pull data from Now Infinity, Xero HQ, and Mild. So, and Now Infinity Bobblehead is a tool that we've built. So once you enter the data in once, it remembers it. So this is adding principal or appointer, individual or corporate. And James, do all of the offices go through ACIS or no?
In Queensland, yes.
Okay. And what would the average, so just for the Queensland offices, so is that just 1,000 companies across Queensland?
Yes, yeah, about 750, 800, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to think about how we're going to price this for you guys. We'll definitely come up 50% cheaper than anything in the market for you. Might have to work out something different because it sounds like, and if each office for the first year, if they've got a CPA member, you get 50% off, right? So that works out to be $375 a month for the first year, right? So we did a 3-year deal with CPA. So that's what I mean. This might be a bit of a no-brainer for firms. I just created a trust. We've got legal sign-off by View Legal and added that to the trust register, right? That's going to automate my trust distributions, any variations I need to do. If this was a unit trust, it'll have a unit register that we're going to go into. I can open a bank account with Macquarie. This pre-fills in the data for the ABR site, for the ABN and TFN application. So that's a full integration that we've got there. Sorry, I had to, I don't know what's happening here. Oh, there it goes. We've built a bot in the ABR. See, that's pre-filled the data on the ABR for you? Yeah. So then the other part here, I can amend the document and I can forward the document, or I can download and print it off. For companies, you can request a hard copy if you wish as well. Okay. But with the legal documents, if you look at this, your trust companies, self-managed super funds, agreements, loan agreements, Div 7A loan, reserves, pension docs, assets. And here's a perfect example. When the law changes, like the law, enduring power of attorney documents just changed, we pull the document down and update it for you. So trust distributions, vesting of the trusts, every state has their type of trust, like New South Wales Land Unit Trust. So this is all included in your monthly fee.
So with that, we can be confident that if we're wanting any of those documents or trusts or whatever, they will be completely up to date.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to go and update them as you go along. When we log in, they'll be completely up to date of whatever's pulled off.
Exactly. Give you an example. Give you an example. 60 updates were done just last week. 60. Right. So we had I'll send you the list of them, but we've got 4,000 accounting firms and we're doing 5,000 legal documents a day in 90 of the top 100 accounting firms. So the pressure that we've been put under for the last 10 years of different people and different expertise in their fields and coming up with different client situations, that's how we've built so many different documents, right? And anything outside of this is where it becomes, you know, if it becomes legal advice, View Legal will give you free support. As soon as we have to go, listen, you know, if you need to do a general update, excluding foreign beneficiaries, you got a clear docs deed, you know, here's the variation clause that's updated. But if you come to us with a 10-year-old deed, we might need to write a new document. So it falls outside of this monthly fee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the example I just wanted to give you. We call it 1 in 100, you know, when you're doing variations. But when I created that trust, now it's going to go to the trust register. And the question is, what are you going to do with all of these ACIS trusts? We're going to do a bulk upload with the original deed. So you're going to have a true trust register, right? Not an Excel spreadsheet. We're going to get rid of that whole process. So if I wanted to click on, so this is a trust of mine that's a unit trust, Queensland. I could click under it. I can see the trustee, the unit holders. Under see full profile, I could issue units, transfer units. And the benefit of the trust register, as again, I'm not pulling any data from APS or MILE. It's all coming from Now Infinity. So I can see the unit breakdown and transactions, unit transactions. Like this is a true unit register. All right. And then every time you do a document around that trust, it saves it under the timeline. And this is where I can upload the original deed, right? And I can export that to the client at any time. Now, I just want to go through, I'll do a discretionary trust because the big strategy that you do every year is obviously distributions. So this process is going to save you a lot of time. So I had to leave my emails on because I'm going to, it creates it through this. Where's a discretionary trust? There's one. So also to explain, you might have seen that it'll say 90% is ready. See, I'm just missing the ABN. So what that means is if I'm doing a trust distribution, it's pulling in all of the data that I've uploaded into the platform. So this is pulled in the trustee details, right? It's pulled in the beneficiary 1, beneficiary 2, distribution type. Now I simply need to do distribution type and then the percentage or the dollar amount, and I go next, and I just completed a distribution without entering any data whatsoever. That saves under the timeline. This document and variation is the only 2 legal documents that you're allowed digital signatures with. How much time is that going to save for admin for you?
Good.
No one's got this in the market. And a firm came up to us last year, and I was in their office, and I was like, oh, we just had the distributions here. And they're like, why can't we save the data? This is our spreadsheet. So I go, okay, well, let's just create it. And we built that for our firms. And then we go, well, how do you update your super fund deeds all the time? So this is where we go, okay, Super Comply is a place just for your super fund trust deeds. So I can see the date of establishment and the next upgrade, and I can do an auto upgrade, right? Or a manual upgrade. So as again, I'm not pulling any data from anywhere else. I just click SMSF deed of variation. Because we've uploaded the original deed, this is the big key when you're doing updates of super funds, right? It's pulled in the variation clause. As again, View Legal will help you if you don't know where that is. This is the legal certificate, review and approved on all legal documents. All right, and I've just updated a super fund. If you've got 500 of those and you're charging the minimum, what firms are charging, which is $300, that just paid for the platform for the next 5 years. Everything else is profit.
So we just did a big upgrade of our super deeds through Heffron.
Oh,
We charged quite a bit more than 300 actually, but so if we wanted to
and do you know what?
Yeah.
Do you know what's crazy? Sorry, Heffron are just doing our documents. I'm just signing them up now. So Heffron do our corporate compliance, and they're going to be doing all of our companies and trusts now moving forward.
Right. Okay. So with the ones that we've already done, can we just upload them onto this program?
Exactly. Do you have Past Super or BGL?
We have BGL 360 Super, and CAS is what we use for corporate.
Perfect. I can do it. We can put it on a big spreadsheet for you and do a bulk upload, please.
Bulk upload, yeah.
Yeah. So this is the details I need of a fund. See, some firms want the deed uploaded, some don't, and some don't even have the deed. So it's up to you if you want to add it to the timeline. Right. So
we've already given all those details to Heffron previously, though. So is there some way of?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we just need to line them all that data up. That's fine. Yeah. So you're halfway there for sure. Yeah. So I had who was it? Pitcher Partners. They've set the benchmark on Friday. One girl, I don't know if she still works there, uploaded 2,000 trusts in one day. She did all of those. As again, I don't know if she still works there, and I don't know what the quality of is in there. But, we've got team members that can help you walk you through this. But the thing is, the onboarding process for firms, corporate compliance, you're up and running that day. Legal documents, you can start doing them that day. And these two, you can just slowly add them as you go. Right? So they're not urgent, right? But you want your trust in before you do your distributions, that's for sure.
So with the company stuff with shares, and we have quite a few complex share splits, that sort of thing, that you guys, that handles all that, does it? Any type of...
We've got a full share register. We've just done a big update on the share register. Yeah, because us and BGL have always had the same issues, and it's just we're constantly building, and that's where the share register, we separated it all together so it could run its own reports. And this is just on why I'm showing you this. You know what our training is? It's just showing you where to click. So if I go into share management, and then I can click under here, and I'm under the client file, and that will give me the share register.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's as in depth as you can get. All right. The only thing is that we won't pull in unless, because you're going through the ASIC portal, is you won't have all your transactions, the historical data. You can upload it. That's the only thing, because ASIC doesn't keep that. Okay. Right. This is another big part that we just launched 2 months ago. The only thing that you have to pay per document is View Legal look what they're doing. Watch the pricing up the top and the process down the bottom. So process and pricing. Watch this. So there's 3.8 million Australians over the age of 30 without a will, and 70% that have a will haven't updated it. So we partner with View Legal because they've got 100 law firms underneath them, and they do all the estate planning for them. But we go, well, we're setting up 50,000 companies a year. Why don't they have an estate plan at the same time? So we're giving you a monthly fee so you can do as many company setups as you want. And by the way, there was 200,000 companies set up in Australia this year. If your firm did not increase your company setups by 30%, it's all due to fees and missed marketing opportunities. So see here, you only pay the ASIC fee, so you can charge whatever you want for a company setup. And what our firms do after that, after 90 days, if they're a single person, we can do a will for them. And that's a meeting with View Legal where they do all the work and sign off on all the documents for $300. And they will sit through and create a will with your client online like this and get scored like Uber. And this is just going through their whole estate plan to make it very easy and simple to understand. And the great thing for your business is we've gotten rid of where is the estate plan at. So you'll have my estates of the status of your wills and your estate plans. Once they've been created, they'll sit in here. If anything happens to your clients, you got access to that data. So setting up your legal documents, managing your corporate compliance, managing your trusts, updating your deeds all in one place, and your clients, you know, that's why they have a business, is, you know, to have their business protected. Right, so that's where we came up with that 5-in-1 platform. Now the integrations here under portal settings, each office will have their own, so their own logo, their own credit card to pay ASIC fees if they need to. It all comes from your email address, not ours. You have control over who has access and two-part authentication. And each team member, you really like this, KPMG came up with this. Each team member has full access, read, draft, or none to all parts of the platform. We pay for DocuSign and we pay for the text messaging. So the text message that goes out to your client will come from your business name, you save it, and this is the type of text reminders that they receive.
Just you guys might actually, just while we're
So that's Now Infinity in a nutshell. Has anyone got any questions?
Nothing further from me. Thank you.
Michelle, where have I met you before? Your name sounds familiar as well.
Not sure. Maybe I'm from the Sydney office, but I'm actually working in New Zealand, but so I'm back and forth. So possibly there, because I've been there for a million years.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we can hear the accent. Yeah, so...
Your name sounds familiar too, I have to say, yes.
Yeah, so... but we'll obviously go through more at the event. But what I'll do for you, I just got to work out some pricing for the offices, really, and what we're going to do nationally or individually, right? But guaranteed, this is a guarantee. You'll save 50% on your legal documents, and you'll save 40% in admin. That's a guarantee, right? So we're just got to work out how you want to structure this. It's more information I get on that, the better the price I can give you.
So I know this is a really awful question to ask you, but I'm a CAS fan because, you know, we've been using it for a long time, but this looks quite a bit more powerful. Would that be correct? Like it does a few more different things? Yeah,
and the big thing is every office, I've had 30 of these meetings today. And I tell every firm, listen, you have to go through us or BGL. But BGL is $16 a company, and they don't pay for the digital signatures. So for an extra $10,000 more on top, you got to show a lot more value. It doesn't do, and they just don't do. They've got part of a fruit bowl where we've got the whole thing. They just don't do the company setups. They don't have a true trust register where it does all the legal documents because they're not a legal provider. They only do distributions. And then they outsource the deed providers like, Top Docs, ACIS. They just outsource it all. So the key for accounting firms is to get rid of 5 monthly fees, put it all under 1 monthly fee so you can scale your firm. So I'm going to get rid of literally $60,000 of fees and save you 40% in admin, and you have one login for 5 platforms. That's the biggest key right there. Yeah. That's when I go into big firms, they go, yeah, we want to get rid of our Excel spreadsheets. We don't want to have to, go through that process again to update our funds, and you got BGL here. And then, most accounting firms, they've got 4 or 5 different legal providers. I just got off a phone with a firm then. They had ClearDocs, TopDocs, Reckon, and ACIS. That was all 4 partners had 4 different legal providers. So, and one partner was charging $1,000 for a company setup, another one was $1,400, and the other one was $1,600 for the same document.
That's expensive,
yeah. What do you charge, by the way, Michelle?
Oh, well, I think our cost is something like 400, say, for a new company, but we on charge that at about 1950. And that's due for an upgrade, that price. And our trusts are usually about the same pricing too.
Yeah.
So we make quite a lot of good money on all the ASIC work.
Yes. With a company set up, you can set up a Xero or a Mild account. You can set up the domain name, the ABN and TFN in 60 seconds. I call it the entrepreneur kit. And you buy the word entrepreneur, link it to your website. You'll get 30 inquiries a month of company setups. And see here, it does the trust. There's the constitution. It creates a trust. It sets up the domain name, ABN and TFN, opens a Xero or Mild account, and your client's an entrepreneur within 30 seconds.
Does all the business, yeah.
Yeah, now that's what you can scale moving forward.
Yeah.
That's what the event's about, is what's generation X and Y clients going to look like.
Yes. Very good, thank you.
Is that everything?
Questions? I'm going to take the silence as there are no further questions. If anyone does have any that come to light, happy to take them and forward them through to yourself, Ben, if anything comes about.
Yeah, if you just want to...
Sorry, Ben?
No, yeah, if you just want to share my details, if anyone's got any questions, they can call me direct as well.
Okay, yeah, sure. Thanks so much, Ben, for your time and showing Now Infinity. And we look forward to seeing you at the next event.
Great. Thank you,
Thanks
guys.
so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.